So this is not planet Earth, folks. This is planet Westshire. Hey folks, how you doing? My name's Brendan. I'm from Blue Light, and over the past several years I've been coaching and supporting people for the police recruitment process. And today I've just finished a few hours actually of coaching with a few different clients, but one of them, my goodness, what the service he's given to his country, over 20 years of service in the Royal Air Force. What a guy. He's served in conflict areas, he's been to Afghanistan, he's been to Iraq, he's done some incredible things. And we practice some role plays, the sort of role plays he's going to get at the National Search Assessment Centre, where I role play exactly as the role players are going to be on the day. His exact words to describe it: this is intense. Now it's intense because you're not on planet Earth anymore. He concluded his words: this isn't like reality, is it? No, it's not. This is like the Westshire Centre. The College of Policing are going to put you through 4 role plays. Each one of those role plays, you've got 5 minutes to prepare, 5 minutes to deal with the role player. The role players have about 15 to 20 lines and no emotion. No emotion. My client commented on this, how I didn't demonstrate any emotion whatsoever. And my lines were so pre-prepared, my lines were so unusual, and I just didn't behave like a normal person would. Of course I didn't, because this isn't planet Earth. This is planet Westshire. So you need to start preparing for this, folks. You need to start practicing for it. This is one thing he'd been doing. He'd been practicing, but he'd been practicing with people who have been trying to help him, trying to be supportive, who felt as though they needed to act out a part. And far from it, far from it. You need to act out the part of someone who is a worker, employee, or a customer at the Westshire Centre who has no emotion whatsoever. No emotion. Who's got 15 to 20 lines in the world. And a bit like in the film I, Robot, if any of you remember it, Dr. Lanning, the holograph of Dr. Lanning, when Detective Spooner, was it Detective Spooner? Detective Spooner is interviewing the hologram, and he asks him a question. If it's not the right question, his response was, my responses are limited. You have to ask the right question. So you've got to ask the right questions. And one of the things we discussed today is how to frame your questions in a simple to complex way, in a way that you could use the same mantra, almost, the questioning mantra. And if you're one of my clients, nip over to the client only Facebook group and I'll share with you that mantra. You need to be drilling yourself in it. And those are his words. He's going to go away and drill himself, because it's no different to how he would react and behave according to the Royal Air Force's standard operating procedures. He'd say certain things in certain ways. So he's going to go away and drill himself through his questioning mantra, which is part of our CUTSA framework for how to deal with the role plays. So you've got to prepare yourself for this, folks. You've got to prepare yourself for when you deliver solutions for a role player who will just say, is that the best you can do? Actually, not even say it like that. Is that the best you can do? Whatever you think is best. I'm prepared to do whatever you think is best. That's how they're going to talk to you. He got really thrown today because in the questioning phase, he was asking me multiple questions, and the response I was giving him was, I'm sorry, I'm not quite sure which question you want me to answer. They will speak like that. They will have very little emotion. And if you ask the wrong question, they're a bit like the hologram in I, Robot. I'm sorry, my responses are limited. You have to ask the right question. Except they won't even give you that. They will just say something like, I haven't given it any thought. I know, bizarre, hey? Bizarre. But, you know, at this moment in time, the College of Policing have already determined that the assessment centre isn't fit for purpose. They determined that back in 2016. I think it's 2017, where their evaluation of the police recruitment process was published, where they described their own assessment centre as something that caused anxiety among candidates. No surprise it causes anxiety, because it's breaking the pattern of a lifetime. You've grown up from the moment you were born, getting used to a certain way of communicating. And then they come and break that pattern because they don't communicate back to you how you would expect them to do so, how you'd expect normal people, whatever normal means. It's certainly not the people in planet Westshire, to behave on planet Earth. So you need to get yourself ready for this, folks. Get yourself prepared and practice with people who will behave as the role players will behave on the day. And that's one of the things I show you how to do and how to manage that whole process in the space of 5 minutes. As my candidate said today, as my client said today, it's just like learning a script, isn't it? Well, yes it is. It's just like learning a script. No different to the script he had to operate by, and he operates by now because he's still a serving member of the Royal Air Force. You deal with things in certain ways. You don't deviate. Well, you don't deviate here. They're not looking for flair. They're not looking for imagination. Just do what you need to do to score highly at the assessment centre, especially in the role plays, because I do believe that the final score at the assessment centre is loaded more towards the role plays than any other of those exercises. Now, you might be sat there or standing there or listening to this, wherever you're listening to this, thinking, oh my goodness, that can't be right. Surely the College of Policing wouldn't do something like that, would they? I mean, how could they produce such a ridiculous series of role plays where they're putting you in the role of a customer services officer at a shopping centre that doesn't exist, with people who've got 15 to 20 lines, no emotion, and do not talk and do not behave like anyone else that you've ever met before in your life? Surely they wouldn't do that, would they? And expect people to just be themselves and act naturally, which is the advice they give you. Well, they have, and they do. And 3 years ago, their own evaluation causes anxiety. They've still not changed things. They are looking at rolling out a new assessment centre called the Day One, but that started September 18, I think it was. They started rolling that out with the Met Police. So far it's only gone as far as Thames Valley Police, Surrey Police, Sussex Police and the Metropolitan Police. Still a lot of problems with that assessment centre. The final evaluation still has not been published, but within that there's going to be some issues raised, I expect. These are long-term issues that are going to be really hard to rectify. The interim pilot published several months ago highlighted a number of issues to do with IT, interoperability, the resources needed to run the assessment centre and the adverse impact ratio, which means that the whole process is actually indirectly discriminating against people from Black, Asian, minority ethnic communities and people who have English as a second language. But that's a subject of a completely different video. So folks, how are we going to get around this completely bizarre world called Planet Westshire? Well, you need to join it. You need to become a occupier, a member of Planet Westshire, and learn to behave in a way that's going to enable you to score really highly, because that's the name of the game, folks. Sadly, it is just a game. I could coach my 11-year-old daughter to pass the police assessment centre. I put £1,000 to a charity of the College of Policing's choice if they wanted to take me up on it. I'll coach my daughter to pass the police assessment centre. She's 11. If she doesn't pass it, £1,000 to a charity of your choice. If she does pass it, then you owe me nothing. I mean, that's a surefire bet there to win £1,000 for a charity of your choice. But I'm so confident I could coach her to pass it there. That £1,000 would stay in my pocket. So one of the things we need to do is to prepare. And there's no one better out there, trust me, to prepare you for this process than me. That sounds like a bit of a bold statement, that, doesn't it? But it's because it's true. For several years I've been coaching and supporting people to pass this process. For decades before that, I've been coaching and supporting my officers in my role as a sergeant, in my role as an inspector in Greater Manchester Police, to prepare for specialist interviews, promotion boards, and you know, 95% of them went on to pass and pass really well. So it's something I do well. Over 4,000 people are now in the police service as a result of the support I provided them with, something I'm really proud of. And some of them have gone to do some amazing things, oh my goodness. Subject of another video, but I'm so proud of Sergeant Ben Forbes from Essex Police. His ears might be burning now, but he came to me several years ago wondering how he was going to pass this assessment process, wondering whether he was the right sort of person to join the police. And he passed and he got in, and now he's a sergeant in Essex and has just been awarded the British Citizens Award. It's just been to the House of Lords to be given his award. He's now got a medal to represent, you know, his achievements. I'm so proud of him. So proud of him. Amazing individual, amazing. So anyway, are you going to be the next Sergeant Ben Forbes, eh? Who knows? You do though, you do. Join us. join us. You'll see the information below in the blurb on how to access. The first stage, I suppose, would be accessing the Blue Light Facebook support group. So join us in that support group. There's over 9,000 people in there now. A lot of serving police officers, people from HR teams in police forces, all supporting each other in a very ethical way to succeed in the police recruitment process. So join us there, or if you just want to go straight for it, there's some information down there also on how to join me on my online courses, webinars, one-to-one coaching sessions, and the things I enjoy the most, doing the most, my seminars. Oh my goodness, I love running those seminars, they're just amazing. So come and join us and be successful in Planet Westshire, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye for now.